Hi everybody, I'm going to talk today about something I do a bit unusual with my four-wheel drive. Well, actually I kind of do a lot of unusual things with it, but one thing I do is that I use rollers for my synthetic rope as opposed to a Hawse, and I'm going to explain exactly why that is in this video, because I like to think that everything that I say and recommend I've got really good reasons for, and I'm happy to explain them, and if anyone comes up with alternate reasons then I change what I'm doing. So that's what this video is about, and you can see here this FJ Cruiser is on a training course. It's busy winching away, and as usual with winching, then the rope is going to be rubbing on your Fairlead or Hawse as it comes out of the winch, and that in a nutshell is why I prefer to use rollers, but we'll get into the details shortly there. You can also see as a by-the-by that we are using max tracks there and treads, so we've got 4 max tracks stacked, and they make an effective ramp. And without it we'd have to rock stack, because that FJ does not have the approach angle to get over that rock, which is one of the reasons why I train on that course, on that track there. So there's 2 types of winch rope. There's wire and synthetic, and we'll have a look at the pros and cons of those. But before we do that, we'll just talk about the 2 types of Fairlead. So you can see on the left there, the Land Cruiser has a roller Fairlead, and that's represented in the top, and on the right there the Defender has a Hawse which doesn't have rollers at all. Now typically people would run roller Fairleads for wire, or they would run the Hawse for synthetic rope. I don't run wire at all for reasons I'll go into. I think it's synthetic's far better, but I also run rollers for synthetic rope, and that's what this video is about. Okay, so let's have a quick recap of synthetic rope pros and cons. So synthetic rope is safer in a break. It doesn't stretch as much as wire rope, and it's got significantly less energy when it does break. If you've ever seen wire rope break, it's really quite frightening. It snaps and then it just whips back with huge amounts of energy and force and skives through the air and can really damage people. Synthetic rope, on the other hand, it doesn't, in my experience, it doesn't just break and then drop to the ground. That's not true. It does snap back a bit, but nothing like as much as wire rope. And in fact, I'm reliably informed that people are paid good money to be whipped with something like synthetic rope, whereas I imagine if you're whipped with wire rope you'd end up in hospital fairly shortly. Synthetic rope is also safer to handle because it doesn't get the bits of sticky uppy wire at burrs that you get in wire rope. It's also a lot lighter as well, so you save a fair bit of weight, and that's handy not just on the vehicle generally, but also when you're running up the hill with the winch rope spooled out. Huge advantage is that it's spliceable, so that if you've got some damaged synthetic rope, you can, in the bush, splice it back together. I don't recommend knotting it because that won't go around your winch very well, whereas splicing will. A good splice should be sort of 80-90, maybe even more than that percentage of the break strength of the original rope, whereas a knot you're probably looking at maybe 50%. So, but you can splice it. Wire rope, if that gets broken or damaged in any way or kinked, then good luck. You're really hard to repair that in the field. You can also wrap your synthetic rope around a bull bar if you just want to move a little bit further forwards. Harder to do that with wire rope because it doesn't bend anywhere near as much, and of course that's likely to scratch and scrape your paintwork. And synthetic rope can be stronger as well, in the thicker quantities than wire rope. So all sorts of reasons to use synthetic rope. The only 2 reasons for wire is that it's cheaper and it's abrasion resistant, which is why you see fire authorities and the like often using it. Now it's not, the price difference between the 2 is nowhere near as much as it was. Many years ago you pay many times more the cost for synthetic rope, so now synthetic rope is very widely used, and it's the price difference has come right down. My view is that everybody should be using synthetic rope unless there's a particular reason you got why. It's just simply much safer, and for me, off-road recovery safety is what it's all about. Alright, now here are 4 reasons that I've been given as to why you should use a Hawse over a roller. So the first one is it's lighter, and that is true. I will show you that in a moment. The next one is that it will damage the synthetic rope. Now I haven't found this to be true at all, and I've been using synthetic rope and rollers for, I don't know, well over a decade, 15 years. I haven't really counted, a long time, and I've done a lot of winching with it. What I have heard is that when you have new rollers and you run wire rope on it and then you run synthetic rope on it, the wire rope damages the rollers and puts small burrs and whatnot in it, and then that will in turn damage the synthetic rope. Well, that may or may not be true. I have not tested that myself, but I have a simple solution, and that is simply use brand new rollers, and there's plenty of them because everyone throws the rollers away. So you just put out a note, say anyone got rollers, and you get 5 or 6 in your shed before you know it. So number 2 may be true, but it's actually not applicable. Number 3, the rope won't roll the roller. This is false, and the rest of the video will demonstrate that. Number 4, gets caught in the corners of the roller. Not in my experience, and again the rest of the video will demonstrate that, apart from one circumstance when it did, but that was pretty special, as you will see. I'm sure someone somewhere has managed to get rope caught in the corner of the roller, but again it hasn't happened to me, and with the winching I've done, I think if it was a problem it would have happened to me by now. Alright, now we're going to show you the relative weights of the two. So here we've got my trusty, what they're meant to be kitchen scales, but they're actually 4-wheel drive equipment weighing scales, and just mismarketed. So we'll call that 0.4 kilograms. There, on goes the rollers, and that comes at a whopping 3.5 kilograms. So you're saving yourself 3 kilograms there. Alright, so my reasons for a roller, and there's my car. That was when I decided to take a line. It didn't quite work out, and so had to winch out of it. And as you can see, again, as usual, I'm running rollers, and the winch rope is angled off to the direction the car is pointing. Alright, so my reasons for a roller. There's less damage to the rope because you're not dragging it over a surface. It's actually rolling over a surface, it's no drag. And second byproduct of that, there's less energy lost in friction. It just makes sense that if you're dragging something over an area as opposed to rolling it over, there's less friction. I mean, we have wheels in our car, the wheels rotate as opposed to just dragging the car with the wheels locked, right? It's like that. And there's a greater bend radius, so the more you bend any given rope, the more damage you're going to do to it, because if you imagine an absolute 90-degree bend over a square, that's almost going to be sharp enough to cut or damage it. The greater the bend radius, the less loss of strength, and rollers give you a greater bend radius. Okay, here I've set up the roller and the Hawse, and I just want to demonstrate that bend radius point. So you can see here, you can take a look at that. You can see that that's actually a fairly sharp bend there. So coming out of that, if the vehicle is pointing up at, let's say, 45 degrees, that's going to be a reasonably tight radius there for the rope to go over, and that cannot do it any good. Whereas over here, we have a much greater radius, and yeah, that's just got to be better for, and of course that roller is rolling, which has to be better than just being dragged over a non-moving surface. And even the other side as well, you can see there it's a greater bend radius, because yeah, you really want that radius to be as large as you can, just for less stress. Now, different Hawses are different designs, and this may not be the best, it's probably not the worst either, but it is indicative. Now, here's the problem. So take a look at that. This winch rope is under a little bit of stress, not a lot, enough to make the point there. It's not actually being winched in at the moment, but you can see that the rope's literally been abraded there. And how can this be good for your winch rope if it's just being dragged over and Hawse and bits are coming off it? Because you've obviously got the heat build up there, and like I said, why would you do that to your rope? I mean, we literally have the wheels on our cars rotate. We don't drag it on the tyres.
And here's another view of it there. Again, you can see on the left there, view of it there. Again, you can see on the left there, there's little tufts of damage coming off the rope. You can also see how much the rope has cleaned up that hawse there. And of course, what if you get a bit of dirt on the hawse, and then that dirt is just going to get smashed into the rope as it goes through as well. So yeah, try and keep your hawses clean if you can. And here's another one. So again, more tufts of rope there. There's more dirt. So you've got this combination of dirt and just literally being smashed into the rope there. And how can that be good for the rope? I just don't see it. And again, different hawses there, similar sort of small bend radius, as you can see. Okay, so here is a winch roller sitting on the ground. It's not a new one, as you can see, and I've just got some synthetic rope and I'm not putting much pressure on it, and look, it's actually rolling. See that? Hardly any pressure, and the roller's rolling. And this is an old one, it's not even a particularly good quality one, right? So I don't really get why people say, oh, there's not enough pressure on the rope, it's too slippery for it to roll the rollers. Well, not the case. And the thing is, it wouldn't matter if the rope didn't roll the rollers at that light pressure, because there's no real damage to it. If you just pull a rope over a bend or something with light pressure, you're not going to damage it. It's when you get significant amounts of pressure, and in four-wheel driving we can be pulling the front of the nose of the car down 500 kilograms of force here, up to 1,000 kilograms of force. You get a lot of pressure there. So now I'm just going to put my knee on it and go, look, see, it's still working, right? So you know what, rollers roll. Alright, so here's our test hill. This is what I call the hill of truth. It's not the world's most difficult hill, but it does serve the purpose because it's reasonably steep, it's consistent, and there's a cross axle up there, so it's a really good test of suspension, or traction really, which means suspension, lockers, traction control, tyre grip, and everything else that kind of removes the driver from the equation a lot as well. So to give you an idea what it looks like, I'm just going to drive the Ranger up. I'm going to put a link up there so you can see that Jeep Renegade driving up to the top and the back, but I'm not trying to drive to the top this time, just trying to crawl it, and I know I'm going to run out of traction, just to give you an idea of what that's like. There we go. Right, thrilling and exciting. Okay, so here we have a heavily loaded 80 series, so you can see it's got 35s, there's with a tyre on the top there, got a fridge, not exactly the lightest vehicle, and I have prepared to winch it, and I've got the stupidest winch setup ever. There is no way you would ever need to do this, or I've never needed to do it in all the recoveries I've done, winch at that sort of angle with any significant load. You'd always find some way to do a redirect using a snatch block, or you'd pivot the vehicle around, or whatever else. So this is a very much contrived situation, and I've contrived it so that we are winching right in the bottom right hand corner of that horse. So we've got a lot of side load and we've got a lot of down load, so we're going right in the corner. So I've really set this up to be the absolute worst case test, and let's see how well those rollers roll. Now you can't see at the top very well, but I have set up GoPros, and you'll see the GoPro footage in a moment. Yeah, thrilling watching an 80 series being winched up, but just to give you an idea before we get into the close-ups on the GoPro. Okay, so here we've got the Hawse, and as it comes in, notice the flattening of the rope. So, and also, can you see the way that the nose of the car is being pulled down? When you're winching at an angle like this, there is a significant force pulling the vehicle down, and that needs to be factored into your calculations. And look at how the rope is flattening now as it goes over the Hawse there. There goes my Splice, one of them. Okay, so that was the Hawse, fairly unexciting. Now we're going to do the synthetic rope. Now we're starting to pull, just so happens that the rope has moved across to the middle, but because as it obviously goes left and right, but you'll see it move to the right as this starts. There it goes, and look at that. The rollers are actually rolling. Who knew? And I think there's less flattening there as well. So surely that has to be better for the rope than just being dragged over. You can see that there's just less bend radius there, because we're, rather than trying to sort of push the rope to one side and change its vertical angle at the same time, that's being done in two places as opposed to one. So the first roller changes the horizontal angle, the second roller changes the vertical angle, as opposed to just trying to do both at the same time. There's got to be this friction. Okay, now kept on going and just increasing the load, and basically managed to break the rollers. So have a look at this. Now if you listen there, you can hear that the winch is under more strain. Still rolling, pretty much. Now the rollers stopped rolling there, and there's a reason for that. Okay, so that's actually come off the rollers, but it's actually damaged the rollers. Okay, so I'm not sure about this needs to going there, so I had to put another splice in this rope, and there you go, that's the result. It's literally broken the roller. So much stress on it, smashed it. That's my conclusion. I use rollers because it's less damaging to my rope, and you don't get that friction on it, and I've never ever had a jamming problem. The only time I've ever had an issue is when I deliberately went out, as you saw in this video, and kept increasing the load until I literally broke the roller. Now notably, that would have happened exactly the same as with wire rope, and yeah, it's just really not a problem there. So the main issue for me is potential rope jamming. I've never had it happen, nor have I seen it happen with anything that I've ever done, so I'm thinking pretty safe there. I'm just going to continue using rollers. Now, how about you? Interested in your views?